You are.
Present.
To me.
Now.
Absent though you are.
Present.
In your blazing cell.
Though surely gone.
Secure in here.
Chattering away in here.
Filling this brimful with occasions. Without you, I could not be.
My first, my one and only, is nothing without your second.
Without this one facing this other.
Without this coincidence, how could there be an instance?
Or a place for that instance to happen in.
It's all measured here.
In this in-between. Or at least.
It all begins with us.
The leap across the gap between 1 and 2.
The earthing and the projecting.
The facing.
And though I guess I shall never really come to know who you are.
This difference opens up all the possibilities of me.
This forever asymmetry of you and me.
Which can never be settled.
Never accounted for.
Never truly and finally and fully answered.
The asymmetry of that gesture of love.
Even of the recognition that I have heard you cry or seen you wince in pain.
Even in that recognition, no settlement.
No community.
Searching in your looks.
That offhand remark you made before you went upstairs.
Never done with.
Looking for the same in this difference.
A different same. I remember the instant I first saw you.
You want to say I grew on you?
In me.
Like a virus.
You tricked my immune system and cloned my DNA. More than sex.
More like the whole reach of our lives together opened up in that instant.
The entire volume.
Granular detail.
All the things we'd be getting up to.
The children we would have.
Everything in one vertiginous glimpse.
A whole coupled life laid bare.
Grasped.
Felt.
And I have to say,
despite how bloody awful it's been since, in my mouth.
I never got that with anyone else.
No one else got that with me. At least I think you got that with me. You have conceded as much.
When pressed. And you know, I can still feel the force of that.
Revelation?
Like I'm still falling into its depths.
Still snarled up in its minutiae.
Its verisimilitude after all these years.
And the intervening horrors.
And the distractions of
being alive.
None of that has ever smothered the thrill of that night. Breath sucking out of me.
Head fizzing.
Like a jet stream that pushes all my other moods about.
An earthquake that raises everything you build to the ground. And again.
Again.
And again. I think I may then.
Even in that instant.
I've wanted to see past you.
To look away.
To imagine another life without you.
You would have realized.
Even on first
the
look.
The final cost of commitment.
Of surrender.
Of the dare you dared me to. Before you.
You weren't living.
I was busy.
Solving living.
Myself without reference.
A kind of blandness.
I'd lost all the fun from life.
Along the way.
Through the journey.
A lay-by
I just didn't
somewhere.
enjoy things anymore.
Hanging out.
Quality time.
Mini breaks.
Everything backing up as hard labour.
All over
all
beige.
Things vanilla.
Boxed up in a fulfillment
click
centre.
And collect.
Life is convenient.
Managed rather than lived.
A term served.
Rather than a day accomplished.
And then I got in your way.
And danced me back into life.
There you are, absolute to you. I see that now.
But this shell is not the answer.
It's the antechamber.
So come on.
Pure theatre, before the real work
And that is all interior.
Beyond show.
That work takes a lifetime.
Or a shift that feels like a lifetime.
That work is different for you and different for me.
Singular.
Original.
Kind of personal.
So customized the stranger can't be bothered.
They're just passing through.
With their own bucket list.
You were lucky.
To get stuck here.
Return
wondering
my
what
gaze.
stars came together to make you, you.
Spending your life with me.
Puzzling at what makes me, me.
You glance.
You look.
You peer.
Into.
As if.
But then.
What do you see of me?
We like it like that.
The rough and ready that chasses into the rough and tumble.
A sort of just about only getting it kind of vaguely right sort of thing.
I'm still adjusting to you,
Adjusting to breathing.
for a start.
The play of looks and lookings away when I walk through the door.
The way you interpreted the music, how you turned it into steps.
At first, you were all feet to me. Delicate things, ever so slightly ahead or off the beat.
And then I saw your face.
And had to adjust to these soul-bewitching eyes.
At the same time,
The feet were still moving.
that wasn't fair.
Life isn't.
I suddenly realized you were saying things.
You had to adjust to my words.
The tempo.
The mood.
Your mood became the only mood in the room.
The only mood in your heart.
It was what I worried about all next day. How could I adjust my mood
Yourself.
to it? How could I make the two dance as one?
In time. Without that effort of recalibration.
Up until that point, all the other workarounds,
Which didn't stop, of course, but had to get choreographed into this.
they seemed like compromises, like I was having to bend myself out of truth.
To get through the day.
Through life, I was grinding down my soul to fit
The more compelling claim.
to life.
So you'd slip down and no one would taste you.
But you tasted me.
You know, I think through all this time I got you wrong.
You thought I was your rock.
But now,
Suddenly,
this afternoon,
across this room,
I see you are not that.
I am indeed the opposite of that.
Since every day when you return my smile,
I put that you I thought so absolute to trial.
you make me answer the same questions.
Again and again.
How am I?
Who are you?
Why am I?
What are you doing here with me?
Is my judgment fair?
Your heart true?
Because that's the condition of this relation.
Neither of us knew anything about when we fell into each other's arms.
A condition that is impersonal.
Like it has no time and place.
No bodies through which to articulate itself.
Just a force
A blind, dumb, urgent force.
happening to us.
Like we had no say in it surging through us.
The great potential between all spirit and all matter.
To declare anew each time I look into your eyes.
How provisional is the truth of this, our love.
The clumsy perfection of its fit.
Right here,
Between us.
in this flesh.
How come the sun
world was
shines
before
when
you?
you've
How
not
come
yet
the
opened
trains
your
run
eyes? Or how come
when you have
research
not yet got
institutes
out
the
of
whole
bed?
world
Each time
wide
I'm
bother
with
about the
you,
future
made up
when
anew,
you've not
like
yet
the
made
old.
up
It
your
sings
mind?
for
The
you
world
in a new
gets
key
made up.
every
A new
time,
world,
with every
but
breath.
true.
And for that reason,
I
you are
am
not
not
wearied
scared.
by the task.
I welcome
Because
it.
for as long as you are
I
tested,
know I am in love
and
with
for as
you.
long as you are made
You
to answer,
are listening.
and for that reason,
you wrong.
my love has taken great pains to put you right. And yet,
How strange, I cannot bring myself to love the world. I say, you are the one,
the one thing you love,
and yet,
you should love that world,
because you are in it.
because I feel its pain. And yet,
Many times it comes close to me,
close, but not intimate.
not my neighbour, though living next door.
Some service provider who does some odd jobs for you around the house.
I don't notice him about the place.
And then,
Sometimes I'm forced
because the odd job's not done to your satisfaction,
to look him in the eye. He
abracadabra,
appears in front of me,
because he failed to do his job.
and looking at him there,
You don't understand how inside one heart your love for me can live alongside your refusal of him.
whom I should love as my neighbour.
Because all your love,
All my ways to the world
in this instance to him,
are through you.
and yet,
He's just a servant to me.
seeing him fail so suddenly stops you in your track.
3 into 2 shouldn't go.
But in his gaze,
Because it shocks me to see he does appear to possess a soul that, like me, also sees a world and imagines another.
you see my love.
And feel and care for him as my neighbour. Your love extends the whole world to me.
And you feel bad that you have treated them badly.
when they are indeed all my neighbours.
What if you will never be fully present to me until you are gone?
That you take my being here?
For granted.
Or that this being present is somehow lacking?
Not the real thing.
Not enough.
And so, only in desertion or death?
In the rupture of that loss?
Do you become there for me?
In remembering, I materialize.
Appear, sitting in your chair.
In the familiar way.
Appear.
But now, maybe...
You are already a trick of the light.
A fancy in the blur.
All the detail.
All the decisions.
The habits.
Just smoke and mirrors hiding the real show.
That you are not actually here. Until you are no longer here.
Never in body, in flesh.
Never truly in this heart.
Or traces of electrical activity amongst the synapses of your brain.
Imagine if that were true.
So all this would only be a rehearsal for the main event. My going.
The parting.
But necessary, of course, because without that stuff...
The comings and goings.
The downtime.
The hopes, etc.
The practical existence.
Without all of that, there would be no mutuality.
No heartache.
No joy. When you have finally gone.
As I must, surely, finally go.
And only then will I feel you alongside me in the room.
I will appear to you.
Like that first time.
When I was all unknown.
All future.
All possibility to you.
All relations, from here on in, relate to that relation.
Me and you.
In that room, more present now.
Years on.
Than then.
More present with each succeeding day, as those other possibilities.
Folded up inside it.
Fail to materialize.
Fall on the slippery surface of our everyday.
As fact and history swarm around.
To crowd us out of this present.
With what can never now be done.
So, the presence of that first look returned.
Becomes.
More real.
More felt than feeling.
More alive than life.